Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. Of course, if you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. You guys know what is up with that. So today's video is one I have been waiting to film since like early December, but I just got this package in the mail, and that is the Jaclyn Cosmetics, the new highlighters. So I will say I only got the accent palette, the kind of bigger palette, and then I got the loose moonlight powder, the kind of like setting powder that's supposed to be illuminating. So I got both of those products. I didn't get the loose highlighter, which is the beaming light highlighter. I think both that and the loose powders are available in 5 shades, but I didn't get all of that. So I just got the accent palette, 1 shade, and I got 1 shade of the moonlight powder. So we're gonna try that out today, and we'll get into all the details about it if you guys are excited for the video. And then of course, give me a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of my future videos and all that jazz. Hit subscribe. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Alright guys, so as I said, I only got the, we'll pull the packaging up here. So I only got the Moonlight powder. I got it in Do Me, which is the lightest shade. This is what the unicarton or the packaging looks like that it came in. It is pretty, like, it's a big box, like it's pretty bulky, but so is the actual component. And then this is the other one I got. It's the accent palette, and I got the one in Flare, I believe. No, which one did I get? I got the one in Flash, which is of course the lighter palette. There is a deeper palette though for deeper skin tones, which is great. But this is what the packaging looks like on this guy. Both are pretty, like, this was pretty hefty. It was pretty heavy in the box, and it was packaged really nicely, so I will give her that. I think the packaging is pretty. Do I think it's a bit bulky though? Yes. So I don't know. I mean, it's really up to you, but it is pretty luxe. I will say the packaging all around, even the components, remind me of Becca packaging, which many people have mentioned. But yeah, I got these two, so I thought I would come on and just try them on camera with you guys. For the Flash palette, it's 4 times 3 grams of product, or 0.1 fluid ounce. And then for the Do Me powder, it comes with 10 grams or 0.35 ounces of product, which is quite a bit for a loose powder. So I think it's a pretty good amount of product that you are getting. I will say the pricing is high, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. So the thing I wanted the most was the 4-pan, like the kind of, they look almost like baked powder products that are in this palette, and this is the Flash palette. So like I said, there is a deeper version of this if you do have more medium to deep skin tones. It's called the Flare palette. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty packaging. Like I said, I do think it's a bit, like, I think this could have been thinner, this part here. It's really bulky, but it does have weight to it, and for the price you're paying, this is actually retailing for $49 US. I'm in Canada, so obviously I paid more than that. That's expensive for a highlighter palette, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know, I guess she's considering herself luxury. It does feel like a luxury product, but I think if I were her, I would have priced things a bit differently, especially considering the controversy she had with her first launch of the lipsticks. I got those and obviously couldn't really use them. I did get a refund, but it was super disappointing, and honestly, I thought twice about purchasing any products from her second launch. Now, the first time that the palettes launched, the highlighters, I didn't purchase anything. I mean, it sold out in like 3 minutes, and I wasn't gonna try to be on the site at work. Guys, so I am back, and as you can see, the lighting is a bit different, but my camera cut out halfway through me getting into talking about this palette, and I didn't realize it until I was going to edit. So I'm gonna add this in now. So I was talking about not getting this on the first launch and actually purchasing it on the second launch, because it sold out really quickly in the first launch. I was kind of up in the air on it because of the lipstick controversy, but I did pick this up the second launch because it did last on the site for a while, so I decided to pick it up then. So we'll open it up. It does have like a nice mirror here. I'll cover that up so it doesn't blind you, but it is a nice big mirror. It doesn't bend the full way back though. These are all of these shades in the palette, and I'll kind of put it this way as well so you can see kind of lightest to the deepest. So they have the shade Gleam over here, Iced, Sparks, and Mesmerize, which is kind of like a pinky copper tone color. I will go ahead and insert some swatches here, and I just started from the top of the palette going right down to the last shade, which is Mesmerized, on the bottom, which is the deeper shade. All of these shades are fairly light in tone, so it's great for fair to light skin tones. Of course, if you are deeper, I would go with the medium to deep ones. But this is what the palette looks like. I think I did tell you what it retailed for. If I didn't, it's $49 US, and you can only get it on the Jaclyn Cosmetics website. I am going to, of course, try this on, but I just wanted to come on and just kind of fill in the blanks for you guys since my camera did cut out. But yeah, that's everything, and we'll probably go into talking about the loose powder now. Alright, so let's get into talking about the luminous powder, they call it on here, but it is called the Moonlight powder, or that's what she called it in her video. I'm not sure why they don't have the actual names of the products on the packaging. It's a little strange, but it's on the packaging. It's called the Do Me Luminous Powder. From my understanding, Jaclyn talked about mixing this with her normal setting powder, or just kind of using it for like a subtle highlight, or if you want like an illuminating setting powder, to try it that way, just not to like heavily pack it on. But I do want to give this a go. This is the lightest shade. It does look a little bit like yellowish gold, so I'm curious to see how it looks on my skin tone. It is fairly bulky. There's no sifter, so that's the opening there. But it looks nice. This retails for $32 US, again, on the higher end as far as pricing. I do think the packaging is pretty, but do I think it could have been priced a bit lower? I do personally. Just like I said, from all of the stuff that happened with her brand, I don't think she's fully established herself brand-wise. But people bought this, it sold out, so I mean, it is what it is. If Jaclyn's name's on something, people are going to buy it. But yeah, this is the powder. I think I'm going to actually try this one first, and I'm going to use the Morphe. I didn't buy the brushes because honestly, I didn't think I needed the brushes. I don't think anyone needs those brushes. But I have the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill JH07, which I use this for setting under my under eyes and just like sweeping powder on. So I thought this would go perfect with this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tap some of this just into the cap. And I don't know how much I need. You guys, like, I'm like, oh, how much do I need? So I just put a little into there. And let's see here. I'm going to actually use her highlighting palette for a mirror. So I have a bit, I'm going to swirl around. So I'm just going to kind of swirl it around on my brush, and then we're going to go in. And I'm just going to kind of put it over the areas of my face I wouldn't mind a little illumination. Okay. It's very subtle. But I do see it coming through a little bit with that, like, illumination. So I do think you could use this, like, as an illuminating setting powder, because I don't think it's too crazy. Like, it just has, like, a nice little bit of luminosity to it. I'm gonna actually fluff some under my eyes. Ew, that's actually kind of pretty. Like, I like that it's not too overpowering, because I kind of wanted something I could just sweep on for that illuminating effect, kind of similar to like an Hourglass powder, which is a pressed powder, but I wanted something similar to that, and I thought it'd be cool in a loose form. So that does work pretty well. Yeah, I think it's pretty. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. So let me actually zoom you guys in and see if you guys can see it a little bit more. All right, so I went ahead and zoomed you in just a little bit so you could see it. Let's just put a little bit more, why not? So, I have a little bit more on my brush. Let's just put some of that on the high points of my face. I think you guys can see that kind of like subtle glow that it gives. It's nothing too like crazy, but I think if you do want more of a glow on your face, that this could work pretty well for you. So I don't mind that. I think it looks pretty good. It's not too overpowering. It's not like too crazy of a highlight, which I didn't want from a loose powder. So I do think that could be pretty. And I do want to try mixing it in with my normal powder just to see what happens, but I think it looks pretty good on its own. Yeah, so that one's pretty good. I think it's worth like $32. I'm not sure on that, but I mean, it's worth giving it a go if you wanted to just try it, or if you're a big Jaclyn Hill fan. All right, so I'm gonna leave you zoomed in because we're gonna go in with this palette, this guy right here, the Accent palette. I think I actually wanna go in with this shade. What shade do I wanna use? I think I wanna use a little bit of Iced and a little bit of Gleam, these two shades down here. So let's just like, or actually no, I think I'm gonna go in with Gleam and Sparks, the two lighter shades. So let's put, and I'm using a Moto Pro. I like this brush, inexpensive. I think I got it in BoxyCharm. I'm gonna go in more with Gleam just because it's lighter. Woo, that's really, okay, I picked up a lot of product. Wow. Oh wow. I might have went a little ham with that. Okay. This is pigmented, guys. Definitely more of a blinding highlight. Let's dip into a little bit of Mesmerized. We'll put that down along our cheekbones. I'm gonna put a little bit of Mesmerized just to like tone that down a little bit. Ooh. That's like crazy though, right? Look at that. So maybe I'll mix these two. So I'm mixing Gleam and Mesmerize, a kind of more like pinky copper shade, just to kind of like tone that down a bit. I already have lipstick on, so I'm not gonna go too crazy right there. But we'll put a little bit on, put a little bit up here. I can't get over like how highlight that is. Whew. Okay, so let's go in with a little bit more on this side. I mean, you guys can see that like I didn't dip into that too heavily, and it's like really intense. I will say you have to be careful with this one. I think it could emphasize texture if you have like a lot of texture, because it is so freaking blinding. Now, do I have that as intense as that side? Now I have to make one side more intense. Oh my goodness. I do think that's pretty though. Ooh, that is really, really pretty though, right? Like, I really want to put a little bit of this on my inner, like, look at that inner corner. I like that. Wow. I feel like you could make this less intense if you really like wanted to make the highlighters less intense, but I mean, wowza. I mean, that is pretty freaking like, look at that. That's with no like setting spray or anything. I am pretty impressed by these. Like, this brush picked up a lot of product. Like I said, I don't think you need the brush that they recommend that you get with this, personally. I just don't think you need it. By the way, I put my highlighters down to like the apples of my cheeks. That's just how I like to wear highlight. You don't have to do that, but that's how I prefer to wear highlight. So I do that on my face, but you don't have to. Some people scream at me for that, but that's just what I like to do. But yeah, I'm impressed. It looks really pretty. I do think, like I said, if you had a lot of texture, you're really going to want to work this guy in. But I do think it comes off looking like really wham bam in your face. And I feel like if you are a fan of Jaclyn, you are looking for that kind of more wham bam in your face highlight. So I think I would go, personally, if you're going to purchase something, I would purchase the highlighter palette. I have heard that the other ones are pretty blinding, the mini, like the little loose highlighters, but I don't use loose highlighters a lot, so that's why I didn't purchase it, because I know it wouldn't get used. But I personally would go for this. There's lots of color options. Like I said, there's a light, like fair light, and then a medium deep, so you have options. Not that you don't in the others, you do. She has 5 shades in the others, but I just think this is a good option. It gives you 4 different highlights. Really good color payoff if you like that blinding highlight. If you like more subtle, I would probably try the powder, but if not, go for this guy. I really like this so far. All right, guys, so I have you zoom back out. So I'm super impressed. I'm really excited for these products. Everything looked good. The packaging is nice. Like I said, I think it's a bit bulky. I think the price could have been a little less on the luxurious end, but I do think the products perform nicely so far. Of course, I'll keep playing with them, but I mean, pretty instantly, I know if I like a highlighter palette, and I really like that palette. I can see myself dipping into that a lot because I like blinding highlights. I do think you can make it more subtle depending on the brush you use. So I use a brush that typically picks up a lot of product, but if you wanted to use more of a fluffy ended brush, I know Jaclyn has one in this Morphe line that's a highlighter that's quite a bit obviously smaller than this, and I think that one would work good if you just want to pick up a little bit of product. So I do think you could make it more subtle. I went a bit ham putting it on because I do like blinding highlights. But I do like that palette probably more than the like Moonlight powder. I think that powder is nice though, and I'm going to keep playing with it because I think it could be used for a variety of reasons. If you want that really kind of just illuminated look like the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, I think it's similar to those as far as effect. Or I know Laura Mercier has like a baked illuminating powder that I sometimes use that's similar as well. So I do think it has its purpose, and I know Jaclyn likes highlighters, so I'm not surprised that she did come out with highlighters. Packaging, pretty, a bit bulky, but it kind of goes with her aesthetic, so I get it. Overall, I'm giving it a pretty positive review because I did like it. So I wasn't sure what I would think about it, but I'm happy that I'm impressed with the products and that I actually got to come on camera and try them, unlike the lipsticks, which I'm glad I actually didn't. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought, if you picked anything up from the highlighters from the collections, or if you liked any of the products. As I always said, and I said at the beginning of the video, hit the notification bell and subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with my videos. I'm not the most frequent uploader, but in 2020, I do want to try to upload a little bit more. So hopefully I can bring you more content, but I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.